She's nationally known. She sits on national boards on policy. Okay, so she knows all this stuff. She knows how dangerous this situation is, and for her not to basically alert the mayor, if she didn't alert the mayor, is
plausible deniability.
if she didn't, then she has to answer some questions. Now,
either
if she
she's
did,
incompetent, or if she told him
complicit in allowing the poisoning of our community. Now, if she did tell the mayor, well, why didn't the mayor act?
So let me ask this and kind of fast forward you just a little bit, because the mayor was along with what the commissioner saying is nothing, but now they're changing, saying, well, maybe we can't change these laterals because it costs too much money, but you can put on filters. Tell me the pros and the cons of the filter, especially in comparison to the last thing we just looked at. Sure. As far as
the filters have to be very they have to be certified by this NSC. They have to be standard kind of 53 filters, but they have to be specifically to remove lead. And they'll work. They'll do their job. They'll remove lead up to about 98% of the lead and stuff, all right? But they're not going to be the panacea. They're not going to be the thing that ends all be all. Because you still have to remove and replace the filters. Yeah. You still have to change them, and
how often? Because that's something people think they buy it and it's done.
Yeah, and that's my concern with the filters, is that people will think I got the filter and it's done, and they leave it on there for a year. No, you're supposed to change them at least every 4 to 6 months.
It's like changing your toothbrush, changing the batteries,
exactly.
in the fire,
you gotta change, you gotta exactly. And so, so this idea that we'll get everybody filters, and then what? You're gonna get everybody filters every 6 months? That's
because they said we'll do it for the low income household, and these are just homes. So we haven't even started talking about our schools, about our hospitals, these other structures,
especially the schools and the churches and the charter schools and choice schools. I mean, there is so much potential for the population of the city of Milwaukee to become impacted by this whole thing. They're not even putting the attention that it needs in order to address this in the same manner they address the whole, choo-choo train.
Yeah.
The streetcar.
Yeah.
They went ahead and hey, we got to get a streetcar. Well, if you put that much effort in putting a streetcar, why can't you put this much effort in protecting the public health?
Well, how about an arena?
An arena, and that's another thing. But but see, the problem in the city of Milwaukee is that we have too many people who have their nose stuck too far up in the wrong rung, and they're not breathing the kind of air that clears their head so that they can think straight. Yeah. They're breathing the kind of air that causes them to think that they're part of something when they're really not. They're not. It's like that show Eddie Murphy, Trading Places, right? You think they're gonna let you on the board of directors?
Come on
now. So that's the bottom line.
All right, well, this pisses me off. I ain't gonna lie, hearing about it. So what we got to do now? Let's talk to the people who hear this and just as pissed off as I am. Tell us about some of the things that we can do to help, and also some of the things we can do immediately in our homes, but also some places we might be able to see you and to learn more about this. Some other places via the website or whatnot, because I know you do beautiful writing. So let's let the people know. Give me all of that.
Well, the first thing we have to do in the first tier of operation here is to make the situation safe for our people. Our people need to start drinking safe water. How do we do that? Yeah, the filters will work. But also, we have to really protect our babies, protect mothers of childbearing years. We need to protect our fetuses, our infants. There is a group that operates in Wisconsin. Okay. It's called Canned Water for Kids.
Okay.
All right? Because a lot of people have issues with plastic bottles and stuff like that. Well, this group provides water in aluminum cans. Very fresh, very safe, very clean water.
Canned water for kids.
Yes, Canned Water for Kids is a charity kind of group. They do what they can to try to provide fresh, clean water. They actually help the people in Flint. They gave them water that way. It costs money, but in the long run, it's pennies to protect your baby, pennies to protect the children. So we have filters, and I would say we would augment by bringing this water into our home, get these canned water for kids. There are other groups out there that do the same thing, but this is the leading group, and they could go ahead and help. So we need to make that first tier happen, the fresh water.
So you talked about the plastic with the water, but if somebody wanted to get that,
They can get it too. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But some people have issues with the, and
so that's a couple of options.
Exactly. There's a couple of options on the table. So that's the first tier we have to do is we have to start getting people saying, you know what, don't drink the tap water. You can shower with it, you can bathe with it, you can clean your clothes with it and all that other stuff. But don't cook, don't drink with that water. We need to just tell people, don't drink or cook with the tap water.
So us drinking
unless
the
you have
water
filters
hose like when we back in the day.
No, you can't do that. No.
That's
don't
over with.
Don't go.
That's
don't,
over
don't
with.
go in the basement and use the faucet down there and start drinking out of water down there. No. We can't do that anymore. That
day's done.
Those days are done. I mean, and so okay, so you got that going. Then with the next issue is we need to force the city start taking action to pay for the removal of these pipes. You got to contact your alderman. You got to convince your alderman.
So 14 and 10 should really be on
that's
top
right.
of it.
They gonna be on top of it.
Okay.
There's no doubt about that. But we need to really push our aldermen in our city to go ahead and move for a major comprehensive strategic plan. The city doesn't have one right now.
Okay.
They need to put together a major comprehensive strategic plan, not only for the removal, but for also the funding of the removal of these laterals. And we as FLAC advocate that no part of the removal of these laterals should be on the homeowners. All the stuff has to be paid for.
So we want to take a model from Lansing.
That's right. We want to take that model like Lansing. Take that whole thing out. That is going to come out of the pocket of the government. Now, we also have to understand that we have to deal with the fixtures in our homes.
Okay.
And
so this is the homeowner,
right.
the landlords.
Right.
Hey, take care of your people. Don't increase the rent. Just do what you're supposed to do.
That's right. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a major movement here so that we could go ahead and not only protect our children and give them a future, but also start reducing the cost 20, 30 years from now in our society.
So it makes sense proactively
Exactly,
to do this.
because then now you don't have to have a lot of extra money for special education stuff. Now you don't have to have a lot of extra money
hold
to
on.
increase
You're going to
your
make some
police.
people mad because I think they might want that.
Well,
we got to make it happen. We got
to.
If the people want to join FLAC, be active in FLAC, or come see you, tell us some places where you're going to be and how they might be able to get in contact with you and your
Well, I'll
friends
tell you
at
what,
FLAC.
we're going to have the community brainstorming, so that's on November 19th.
Where will that be?
The CME Church here in Milwaukee.
On 9th and Locust.
On 9th and Locust, correct. So we're going to be there. I'm going to be speaking on the matter there. We're going to have a number of panelists. There's going to be a professor from UW Milwaukee. There's going to be a journalist who wrote on the issue of lead blood levels in the city of Milwaukee. Actually, our lead levels for our children is double that of Flint. Despite what the city is saying, we are actually Flint. When their blood lead levels for their children was tabulated, they were at about like 5.9% of the children were above the CDC threshold. In Milwaukee, we're 8.6% above.
Another place where we number one. Don't want to be.
And so she's going to be talking about that. The professor's going to be talking about the effects. I'll be talking about
anybody from the city going to be represented.
They were invited.
Okay.
You know what the answer was. So
and
they
we
were
laugh, but
invited.
that ain't funny. You have a responsibility to come talk to the people and, be a part of it. Nobody wants to throw you under the table, but just be a part of the solution. We all in this together.
That's right. So for a city representative not to accept this, that's
But just remember that when it's time for reappointment, when it's time for election, how can we get in contact with FLAC?
With FLAC, all you have to do is contact the kingfish.com. You could go.
That's where your great articles are on.
Right, they go there, or you can call me at the Milwaukee Spanish Journal newspaper.
Give them that number.
Way, the Milwaukee Spanish Journal is 414-643-5683.
Listen, it's one thing not to know, but when you do know, you got to do something about it. We understood in 1993 what Cryptosporidium did to our community. Milwaukee understood it and they acted, but they didn't act as further along as we could. We cannot let money become the barrier to hurting people. We're talking about lives right here in Milwaukee. Brother Miranda done gave us some things that we can do. One, we gotta act. We gotta be activists. We gotta put some noise on them. We gotta put pressure. If not, who knows what's gonna happen? So if we put pressure on them, and this is truly a democracy, we can make things happen. Two, we gotta get those filters. There's some different organizations we talked about with bottled water and whatnot like that. He said it's okay to shower in it, to do everything, but when it comes to drinking, when it comes to feeding, cleaning food and eating, drinking, we got to be careful with it. Places we can go. We can't just talk about it. We got to be part of the solution. Hey, my grandmama told me.
Keep an eye out for us. We'll be putting more information out about where we're going to be. Most people can go ahead and join us at these town hall meetings. We're going to be doing another town hall probably in the east side of Milwaukee, hopefully around the end of November, middle of December. So keep an eye out. We'll be putting the word out, and hopefully you'll join us.
We're going to keep it on the blacksmith all the time with this. So like my grandmother always told me, the best way to heal yourself is to help others. Jonah, Noah, Sky, Joy, my Alicia, Daniel loves you.